So Candace Owens is out at the Daily Wire. Candace was, fired, as we all know. And, she put out a post where she's like, she's finally free. She's free from, I guess, enslavement, right? To some degree. So my thing, I always kind of felt like with Candace, she was kind of like a puppet for them. I feel like she was basically a puppet for them, even though in some degrees I still feel it was her opinions and some of her expressions or whatever the case is, which is also interesting, by the way. She's also asking for gifts. I guess if anybody wants to give her a gift, and she's accepting donations, which is also very interesting. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right? Yeah. But anyway, so I felt like her being on the Daily Wire, she was a mouthpiece for their opinions and their views and whatnot. And, she was getting paid. So she kind of knew what time it was. She knew what her role was. Sometimes on her show, like I said, on her show, I felt there were some points that she made that were actually pretty good. And then on the other hand, there were some points that she made that I wasn't really all for it. And, one thing I noticed about her show that I actually didn't like was the fact that when you would look at the show, you see the audience, you would mostly see a lot of white people. You didn't really see, black people even looking like her in the audience sometimes. I don't even think they probably were in her staff. It seems like she was like probably the only black woman hired to the Daily Wire, like an affirmative action kind of hire. I don't know. But that's what the vibe I got from her show and her being on the Daily Wire, which is very interesting because then leading up to, last year, October 7th, all hell broke loose once she decided to go against what that mouthpiece that she was supposed to be, what they were feeding her to kind of push and to kind of say. She said the opposite, something that they kind of didn't like. And, her touching on the whole Israel-Hamas war and saying how it looks like genocide. Ben Shapiro was obviously, him being one of the co-founders, he wasn't very happy about that. He even stated he was disgraced by, her comments. And, she even, when she posted in response of something about you can't serve two gods, so it can't be, it's either God or money, it can't be both. And I guess she was basically trying to say or point out that she's willing to leave if she had to leave or whatever the case. And Ben, he was all right with pushing out like, hey, if you want to quit, just quit. And so she stuck it out until I guess 4 or 5 months later, she's fired now or whatever. And it's what's interesting too with Candace is it's like you notice for a while now her branding kind of changed up a bit. 1 minute she was, just straightforward and hardcore with a lot of her opinions and views on different topics. And then now it seems like she just started to soften up a bit on this topic and on that topic. And her going on, as of late recently, going on The Breakfast Club, going on Joe Budden's podcast. Even at one point, I think I kind of felt that way even when she went on No Jumper. I think she did No Jumper not too long ago. And I was kind of looking at that like, that's interesting that she went on that podcast. But I think she's kind of been weeding her way back in because she knew that, these guys about to kick my black ass up out of here on the Daily Wire. And I think she knew that, so that's why she was basically pivoting and preparing to, possibly come back into, black markets and, say more things that champion black people. I've always